Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you know, or as you may not know, we meet here on the second and fourth Sundays of each month. So next month, we will be meeting on May 14th and May 28th. And as always, we'll always have a great service for you. So glad that you're with us and that you've chosen to spend your Sunday anchoring in an inspirational message that you get to take with you all day and all week. You are a blessing. So thank you for being here. And so, as I said, we meet on the second and fourth Sundays of every month. So again, in May, it will be May 14th and May 28th. Look forward to seeing you there. If you received the link to this service, any place other than your mailbox, you may wish to send an email to office@inspirespiritualcommunity.org, or just go to inspirespiritualcommunity.org and click sign up for mailing list. That way you always get the reminder, you always get the link, and you won't miss the service. So glad you're here. So as always, we're going to begin with a brief meditation. Also, for those of you who don't know, I am Garrick Angel. It's a privilege to be part of the Sunday Service Committee here and also on the board of directors for Inspire. And on behalf of the board and on behalf of the service committee, I want to thank all of you for showing up today. I want to thank all of you for your donations. We'll get to that later on, but you make this community. And so we want to be able to continue spreading the word, spreading our reach. And a lot of times that's just by telling a friend. So I invite you to remember to tell a friend. When you receive that email, just kind of go, who can I forward this to? Who would benefit from the message of Inspire? So keep that in mind. This is how we build a world that works for everyone. We get everybody on this positive, affirmative page, and then we tell a friend who tells a friend and tells a friend and tells a friend, and this is how community is built. So speaking of building community, now's our time for anchoring this oneness. So we're going to take a couple moments and meditate a little bit. And then after the meditation, I will speak a word of blessing for today's gathering. But first, let's turn within. Let's go ahead and allow our eyes to close. And when I go to meditate, when I close my eyes, I imagine that I can open my heart even more. So imagine you're closing your outer eyes and you're opening your heart. And you just spend a few precious moments just following the breath. Inhaling deeply, I am. And exhaling completely, love. Just hear that in your own mind. Every time you inhale, I am. And every time you exhale, love. And we'll just spend a few precious moments in this stillness, just following our breath. As thoughts enter your awareness or sounds take place around you, let all of it remind you to come back to your breath, inhaling I am and exhaling love. Thought comes by, but we don't need to follow it. It's just a reminder. I am love. As you continue to inhale deeply, as you continue to exhale completely, again, hearing the words, I am love with every breath. Let's take a quick scan of your body. Start at your toes. I am love. Your ankles. I am love. Just work your way all the way from the tip of your toes to the top of your head. Pausing at each body part, remembering, I am love. And so again, aware of your breath, aware that I am love. Place your attention on your heart space area again. And in your own mind, imagine that a door opens in the middle of your chest. And now your heart is a projector. In front of you, whatever you desire is being projected. As you see this, remember again, I am love. And so we let that desire project on the screen in front of us, and we bless it with the mantra, I am love. And continuing to see that beautiful movie projected in front of you. Go ahead and place your hands in a prayerful position. And now go ahead and place them on your heart. And it is at this time that I speak a word of blessing for today's gathering. Mother, Father, God, infinite intelligence, I am thankful and grateful for this moment, thankful and grateful for this gathering. And I'm thankful and grateful, most importantly, to know that God is all that there is. And I'm thankful to know that all that there is God. Everything seen is God, everything invisible is God, every sound is God, every silence is God, everything I know is God, and everything I don't know is God. Even that which I think I know that I probably don't even have a clue about, it's still God. God is all there is, and all that there is God. And I exist, therefore I must be created in the image and likeness and out of the very substance of God, for there's no other way that I could be created. And as I know this to be my truth, I know the same truth for everyone tuning in. We all show up individually and collectively as God itself. And so this gathering is God meeting God. This gathering is God loving God. This gathering is God speaking to God and God hearing God. I'm so thankful for the unique and specific way that Reverend Skip Jennings shows up to speak the word of God. So thankful for the music of Jennifer O'Brien that inspires us. So thankful for each person gathering, that this is already a fantastic service, that we are lifting the vibration of the planet simply because we kept this divine appointment. So I know that all is exceedingly well, especially now. I rest in gratitude as I release this prayer to the action of God's living, loving law, because it's already done. So with gratitude and thanksgiving, I let it be, and so it is. Amen. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes once again. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And I love it every once in a while when we bless each other. So let's go ahead and rub our hands together. Take a look at your screen and just take a look at all those beautiful faces. Welcome to Inspire. I see you. I recognize you. And I'm thankful that you are here. This is a good day, and we get to share it together. You're a blessing. Amen. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. So time for our mission statement. While we're talking, let's go ahead and read our mission statement. I will read it out loud. You go ahead and be comfortable in your chair or standing up, but read it aloud with me. Ready? Let's go. Inspire is a spiritual community of like-minded souls committed to walking our talk in joyous fellowship by demonstrating the power of love, compassion, and non-judgment every day in every way. Recognizing the divinity of all life, we stand united by actively liberating humanity by healing judgment, fear, and shame within ourselves. Our intention to create world peace, piece by piece. Woohoo! Yes, raise your hands up for that one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as I said earlier, we have a special treat today. We have our very own Jennifer O'Brien. She is not physically with us today on this Zoom meeting. However, she did send us a special video that she recorded for Inspire's 11th anniversary. So that was in 2021. Jennifer O'Brien recorded on my own. We're going to watch that video. And as we watch it, let's just send some special love to Jennifer right where she is. As she blesses us with her love, we get to bless her with ours. So we'll go ahead and start the video. Oh, by the way, you might need to adjust your volume so that you can hear this.
Who I am, do I fit in? Make believing is hard alone out here on my own. We're always proving who we are, always reaching for that rising star to guide me far and shine me home out here on my own. And when I'm down and feeling blue, I close my eyes so I can be with you. Oh, baby, be strong for me. Baby, belong to me. Help me through. Help me need you. Until the morning sun appears, making light of all my fears. I dry the tears I've never shown out here on my own. And when I'm down and feeling blue, I close my eyes so I can be with you. Oh, baby, be strong for me. Baby, belong to me. Help me through. Help me need you. Sometimes I wonder where I've been, who I am. Do I may not win, but I can't be thrown out here on my own. Out here on my own.
We have such a talented community. I love when we get to share when we get to share our gifts. We get to share our gifts, and Jennifer definitely is a gift to us. So I'm so thankful for that video. So many people here in so many different places. I think I noticed South Africa in the house. I noticed Los Angeles in the house. I noticed Columbia, Washington, D.C. And of course, we have Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So at this time, it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce you to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Our very own Reverend Skip Jennings is back. Our theme today is renew, remember, and reconnect. So
Yes.
Reverend Skip, so glad to have you back. So
Oh
glad
my
to
goodness.
see you again. You can tell people how we know each other. I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah. Oh, it's so wonderful to actually hear our very own, because what we were talking about today, there's only one power, and that is the power of love. And we're all members of love. And so I am a part of your community. I am one with your community. And if you hear noises in the background, I'm actually in my office at the Center for Spiritual Living in Fort Lauderdale, where I have not left yet, because we have many things that are going on in the community. We have a movie that's going on in Sanctuary, and then we have our new members course that's happening right next door to my office. So you might hear laughter and excitement. I already done my part. We have people preparing for our gala that's coming up on Saturday night. And so this is the fourth experience. But the one thing I do know, it's all God. It is all love. It's just showing up in different aspects of our life. And so I am grateful. Thank you so much for having me, Inspire. And thank you, Garrick. And Garrick and I go back a long time. He was my first practitioner. The first practitioner session I ever had was with Garrick Angel. And I remember I was with Bill, and we were at I think a celebration for a graduation. And I think I was trying to get around of someone said. I was like, well, they just said this, but this is, and Garrick said, it doesn't matter what they say, it matters what you believe. And I've always carried that. Science of Mind, the movement that we are involved with, New Thought, Ageless Wisdom, Science of Mind 101 says it is done as you believe. So what do you believe today? And we are here to renew, remember, and reconnect. I have it on my paper right here so I don't forget. But what I do know about renew, remember, reconnect, this is a season for it. Springtime is the season. Because if you think about the seasons and they go in a cycle, you have fall is a preparation. So we harvest we do the harvest, we get all our stuff, we put into the storehouse, we get ready to go into winter, winter is about transformation. We go into a cave of transformation. And that is the time that we do contemplation of our lives. We get deep, we slow down, we light the fires. Well, maybe not in Fort Lauderdale, but we drink soup, we get really cozy. But those are the times that we contemplate in winter. And then here comes spring, which we're in right now. And spring is about shedding off all the stuff that no longer serves us. So we're coming out of the cave of transformation, of hibernation. You ever think about a snake? The first thing they do when they come out into the spring season, they shed the skin. If you think about anyone who has a furry pet, what do they do in spring? They shed the coat they no longer need. So part of this renewal and this remembering and reconnecting is releasing the things that no longer serve. And that happens all the time. We should be willing to release things that no longer serve. What I love about this season, we just celebrated Easter, so we call it the resurrection. And I believe that we are always having a resurrection in our own life, a renewal. I teach yoga, and one of the things we do at the very end of yoga is called Shavasana. There is a corpse pose where we die to the practice, we let it go. We release the physical so we can step into the now moment of the royal meditation or the Raja meditation. But then after that, after Shavasana, there's always a resurrection. There's always a new you you're meeting when you come out of your Shavasana. So we're in the season of renewing. What are we renewing? Our commitment to our own transformation. What are we remembering? We're remembering that we are one in God, therefore we are one in everything. We are one in love. And what are we reconnecting to? Our reconnection to our practice. Because all this that we're doing right now is a practice, y'all. This is a practice. It's not about, really, if you can believe all you want, if you sit on the couch and you believe that you can lose 50 pounds, you can sit on the couch, and if you don't get into practice, what is it going to be? So we're here to renew, remember, reconnect. In the space of resurrection, you think about the word to rise. What are we rising out of? We're rising out of our lower vibrational frequencies, and we're rising up to our infinite possibilities. When we think about resurrecting something, we're coming through something. We're coming through our own personal healing. When we're resurrecting or renewing something, it was believed to be dead. So what part of your life that you like kind of give up on? And you're like going, okay, it's time to renew what you thought was dead. It's breathing new life into something. So it could be your career, your writing, maybe it's your spiritual practice, maybe it's your healing. Maybe you have been carrying so much trauma in your life, and it's a time for you to reconnect, remember, and renew your own healing practice. So we're going to talk about healing today. And what we're going to do, I'm going to share my screen, and I know technology works for all of us. So I'm saying yes to the technology working. Let's see if we can get that going. All right. It's a great little video I just want you to watch.
But they have these like really high highs that I felt like I could do so many things and connect to so many people, and then like really bad lows that I felt so alone, so lost, but I also had no idea what I wanted or who I was. I didn't feel accepted. I didn't feel loved, but actually it was myself. I hated myself, that type of like angry at myself. Everything was my fault in my mind. And I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of self-judgment. And I mean, like, I hate you, that type of intensity inside of me, really strong, you know. Right before, like, I was very, like, suicidal, actually from a young age, feeling of being on the edge of death. I was, like, almost addicted to that feeling because I felt alive. And then it was that same feeling when I was in the training, tapping my body, who am I, what do I want, what do I want, and then all the things that I thought I wanted, I didn't, were, like, just breaking off until I finally got to that complete, like just zero, nothing. And then there's like this voice that's, I just want to be me. I just want to be me. But I think there is some place that we do have to acknowledge. So what people did to me was not okay. I was hurt. Not everything is your fault. And nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken and you're not twisted. I was pulling myself out of the darkest place ever, but it was like I was gonna be on a path that was gonna feel that forever. And I was gonna feel that shift and that evolution of myself and my growth that I wanted so bad. I wanted to be alive. I wanted to I wanted to be the butterfly. I needed physical healing. I needed to feel comfortable in my body. I needed to love my body, like rubbing your body, that touch. Internally, there's a lot of noise. So when I make noise out of me, like the sound and the tapping and the loud music, I feel comfortable actually, because that was what was inside of me. And that doing Tai Chi, doing Qigong, and being one with the energy and flow with the energy and surrendering to the energy, it recovered my character. It felt like, oh, that part of myself I lost and I could find. If I am completely accepting of everything, I can heal myself. Because in my mind, healing is not I healed, healing, loving, right? Living, it's an action, it's doing. So healing to me is the practice of acceptance, of loving myself, accepting myself, and also accepting everyone around me and the conditions around me.
Oh, every time. I'm sorry. I'm not going to cry this time. And I just played this in service earlier on. I'm like, what? Healing. And she talks something, a word that I love is recover. Recover my character. So if we're talking about renewing and remembering, reconnecting, what we're really doing is recovering. And we want to recover from the trauma that we are experiencing. Today, as we talk about healing, I also mentioned earlier in the service that love is the only thing that can heal us. Love is the only power that can heal us. And I talk about, and I say the word God quite a bit. So if you have squirminess and you're feeling a little about God, let me explain to you the God I'm talking about. I'm talking about love. Like I'm wearing a t-shirt to say that I am love. God and love are together. So we're talking about love, and we talk about God as being the flame of life. Love is the energy that's within us. In Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes calls love the central flame of the universe. If you think about the flame, fire is required for healing. When we get sick, what happens, y'all? There is this fever that happens because it's burning out the energy we don't need. So when people say, I need to lower my fever, I'm like, okay, yeah, you want comfort, but that fever has a purpose. When you're thinking about alchemizing something, changing something from what is believed to be a no good metal to a precious metal. I don't believe there's a no good metal or a precious metal. I just believe there's an alchemization that goes on to change how the appearance of it requires fire. So if we are renewing and remembering, reconnecting, we are using the fire, we're using love to transform us. God is love. Also, the love that I'm talking about is unconditional love. And we look at unconditional love is the representation of complete, outright, pure, without diminishing factors. And I think we need to understand that because we can be in a romantic relationship. We can be in a relationship with Pookie and Nene. It can be all up in our grill. We could be having, oh, chow. And as soon as you don't wash the dishes, what happens? Pookie's like, you needs to get out. That's diminishing love. But I'm talking about the love that can never die, that can never end. It has just created everything. If we think about love, this healing love is the highest vibration that we can ever experience. So there's high vibrations, there are low vibrations. I don't believe in duality. I believe in the polarity of life. So you're going to go up, you're going to go down, it's going to ebb, it's going to flow, but it's still in the totality of God. I believe the love that I'm talking about is the highest power, the highest vibration that one can experience. Some people even call it agape love. Some of us, we come from agape. Agape is, I would say, the mother church from all of us. But agape is not that place. The agape that we're talking about is the God love, the love that transcends any human experience. That's the love that we're talking about. That's the God I'm talking about, the only power that can heal us. And I said this in my service earlier on. Listen, if I really try to explain to you what God and love is, I always fall short. So it is said in a lot of writings, not just the Bible, but it says in the Tao, it says in the Quran that we can only truly experience Allah, God, Spirit through spiritual practices. See, we can talk about it, we can have an existential experience, but until we have an experiential experience of God, we'll never know. It's like, I can tell you about Hawaii, but until you get off that plane and you step out and you smell the flowers and you're in the vortex, you really will know what Hawaii is. Same thing about love and healing. Until you fully experience God in love, what I'm giving you is falling short of the true experience. So we must be willing to experience love, to renew ourselves. We must remember that we are love. We are the emanation of love. We were plucked out of the center of love. We are actually love itself. Our greatest mantra that we have is I am. And we use it consciously sometimes and unconsciously. Whatever you put behind the words I am is your truth, and the universe says yes. So if you walk into a room and you say, I am sick and tired, the universe says, yes, you are. You are sick and tired. But if you walk in a room and says, I am love, the universe says, yes, you are. You are love. So however you put behind I am, be very careful. And I said this, listen, I'm a walking billboard for love. I have a t-shirt line that I sell t-shirts, people to remind you of who you are. We have to have an affirmation. We have to have a reminder of who and what we are. I truly believe that God has created everything from love to experience and to express more love. So then we get to the deep down experience. Why are we here? It's to share love and to experience love. That's it. And what gets in the way is our thinking and our ego construct and what is right and what is wrong. The truth is we are here in this incarnation to experience love. That's it. And whatever else you get on the side, great. But the first and foremost priority is to experience love. Seek ye first the kingdom of love, and all these things shall be added unto you. Truth, y'all. So how do we experience this love I'm talking about? How do we renew ourselves and remember and reconnect with love? We have to go to the spiritual practices. Affirmations, we do it. We just did an affirmation. Meditation. Taking time. Here's one of the meditations that I love to do is I love to think about people, family, friends that really activate love within us. They are a catalyst of love. And I meditate and I think about that person, and then I remove the object out and I just feel the vibration. Let's do it together. Go ahead and close your eyes just for a moment. And I want you to bring into your consciousness something, someone, some activity that activates the feeling of love. Think about that. Now remove that object out of your consciousness and just feel the vibration. Breathe into the vibration, feel it. Allow your body to be connecting and feeling the vibration of love. Let's come back into this Zoom room. It's a meditation of love. We get to meditate about the truth of who and what we are. Prayer. Prayer is what I love about prayer is that, there is a 6-step prayer, there's a 5-step prayer, there is a 7-step prayer, there's all these steps of prayer. And guess what? God don't care about no steps. The steps is just about us to align ourselves with the truth. But there's one step that's in common with all the prayers that always ends in the same place after you go through your recognition, you recognize what God is. There is always a unification. Why? Because our spiritual practice comes from our unified connection to love. So we always pray from a place of love. We connect with God, we connect with the universe, we connect with God, and guess what? It is that connection that allows us to speak the truth. If we're not connected, I learned early on, you better stay in that unified field until you feel connected, and then you move, and then you move. When we talk about visioning, and that's one of my favorite, I know it's Garrett's, one of Garrett's favorite go through spiritual technology, because it is a technology. All these practices are a technology. It works, but you got to work it. We begin our visioning with unconditional love. Why? Unconditional love is what is created everything. All our greatest ideas, God's highest idea, comes from unconditional love. So we get to free ourselves up in unconditional love. And then there is the spiritual studies. And I got to tell you, if you're not in class, you got to get into class. Get into a class. Get deep down into the studies, because your speakers can give you little nuggets here and there, which is it's good. You can get a lot, you can retain a lot, but until you take the time to contemplate and understand these principles from a study situation, will you ever really know what is meant by unconditional love? So you got to get into somebody's class. So then we are in the spiritual practices, and what we are renewing and healing from is from what I call trauma. I believe we're experiencing trauma, and trauma is the stories that we keep telling ourselves over and over and over again, and we re-experience that energy, the low vibrational energy of trauma. There are 3 types of trauma that we experience that I know in my life. There's acute trauma. Acute trauma is that incident that happened, that one thing. It could have been a car accident. It could have been something, it could have been maybe a robbery attempt or something that's shaking you and it holds on to you. And then there's the repeated trauma of our verbal abuse or domestic abuse or violence, or receive violence over and over again. I believe that acute trauma is happening when we see another 60-year-old Black man or Black woman shot by somebody else because they're afraid of the skin color. That's repeat trauma. But then we have a deep-rooted trauma, I believe, that is the things that we don't even know that we're still experiencing. Unforgiveness. We're experiencing the shock, and we're experiencing the things that our parents have given us. I still experience some of my mother's trauma that she gave to me, and I've taken it as my own. I remember I was thinking, why haven't I had a day off in probably 30 days or so, and maybe even longer than that? Can't even count anymore. And this morning it was coming through me in meditation. So watch out, because when you're about to teach something, Spirit shows you. My repeat trauma has come from my mother always saying to me, son, you're going to have to work twice as hard. You're going to have to be doubly better so you can get half as far. So in my mind, as Reverend Skip in Florida, in a predominantly white community, I got to be working every single day. And guess what happens when you work every day? You create stress on your life. You create a place of irritability. You create a place of anger. Your dark night of soul is a very dark place. And I realized because of this deep-rooted epigenetic trauma that I've taken on as my own. But here's the good news. It all can be healed. It can be healed through love. Every trauma that you experience can be healed with love if you are willing. Be willing. So if you're willing, I'm going to give you 5 things that you can do. Take down some notes. I wish I could put them in the chat, but I'm it's hard for me to so I'm not going to do it. So y'all take your notes. So here's your 5 principles for healing trauma with love. Number 1, slow down. You got to slow down. And what I mean by this is that we live in, is it just me, or is the days and the months and the weeks going by quicker and quicker and quicker? Is it just me? Anybody else? Anybody else feel that? It is just flying by over and over again. It's because we are so overly stimulated, so much going on. We must slow down to renew, to remember, to reconnect. We must slow down. And when we slow down, we think about the body temple. How can we slow down the body temple? Yoga, Tai Chi, slow walks in the park, being in nature, sitting, breathing, sound baths, Reiki, massage. I had a great massage yesterday. It was wonderful. It was healing. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I've been missing. This is what I've been missing. It is the physical love of your body temple that will lead you to renewal. Slow down. Number 2, you got to tap into your joy box, y'all. We all have a joy box. And the joy box is that box that you take all the things that you love and you put it in a box. You haven't been doing it. And you close off that box. I don't know why you're not doing the things that bring you joy, but I'm here to invite you to be in joy, to practice joy. Open up your joy box. On my desk, I have a joy box right here, but it's filled with affirmations and love. But open up that joy box. Do the things that bring you joy, like going out to dinner with friends, or maybe going to the beach, getting out. We got through this pandemic, and I know it's still happening in some places. I'm not saying we're through anything, but we learned how to isolate, and we learned how to put everything into that box. And we kept saying, oh, when the pandemic's done, I'm going to da 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 da. That's you putting your joy in a box. It is now time for us. You want to renew, you want to remember, reconnect with life. Open up your joy box, get out your joy box, and then go play. Do the things that bring you joy. Number 3. This is, I believe, is probably one of the most important things I've gotten from the video and from this talk in preparation. There is nothing broken about you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing broken. So we walk around, I've used this as a linguistic convenience. Oh, I'm heartbroken. Well, that's not the truth. Your heart cannot be broken. You are not heartbroken, but this is your invitation to turn to spiritual practices. See, everything is designed for you to wake up. So you are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. It's your invitation to rise up. No matter what this experience looks like, there is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. It is your invitation to do something better or to live in a better way, in a better life. Number 4, acceptance. This is really big because sometimes we don't want to accept what's going on around us. We don't want to accept what we're going through. We don't want to accept that there is something that's calling forth for us to release that no longer serves. Once we can accept that, then we can transform through it. The other acceptance that we need to accept is that I am a divine emanation of God. I am God in the flesh. I know that's hard for some of us to say. I am loved in the flesh, yo. I am God and I'm the universe. The core of the universe lives within me. We have to accept that divine truth. We are called to accept. And here's your last one, y'all. Healing, renewal, remember, reconnecting is a daily practice. There's not a one and done. You just don't get to ta-da and it's over. In my yoga class, we have a great little fun mantra that we do at the end of a very challenging pose. At the end, we'll land in mountain pose and I'll say, what do y'all say? And everyone goes, ta-da. It makes me laugh even thinking about it. I just crack myself up. But it is what it is. It's like, okay, I did that. And then once you do a ta-da moment with a yoga practice, there is more ta-das to be done within that yoga practice. It's a daily practice of renewing your spirit. Every single day, we must have the intention to connect with love, to renew, to heal ourselves. Listen, if I can leave you with anything, whatever you're going through, you are not alone. All of us were going through something. It might have a different appearance, but that which you are going through has come to heal you. That what you are going through, may it be your physical body, may it be your thinking, may it be your connection to your relationship, may it be your challenges with abundance and prosperity in your life. Whatever you are dealing with, it's come to heal you. So be willing. Be willing to go through your renewal. Be willing to remember and reconnect with your practice. This is the greatest thing that we can do for ourselves on this side of the incarnation. Again, it is a practice, practice, practice. Remember to slow down, tap into your joy box. Remember, there's nothing wrong with you. There is nothing broken. Accept, accept on a daily practice. So it is, y'all. Peace and blessings.
Just love the way you broke it down so clearly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Reverend Skip. I don't even know, but we do have a little bit of time for question and answer.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go a little bit deeper, or if there's something in particular going on in your life that you perhaps would be open to a little coaching about, Reverend Skip,
Sure.
open for question and answers. Go ahead and raise your virtual hand by hitting that reaction button and then raise hand. And then when I call on you, you can unmute and ask Reverend Skip a question. This is a golden time. What I love is Reverend Skip is so clear that there may not be any questions, but this is your time if there are. So again, if you'd like to ask a question, go a little bit deeper, perhaps get a little bit of coaching on something going on in your life, now is your time. We have Reverend Skip here all the way from Florida with the technology of Zoom. Thank goodness. So let's definitely take advantage of this time and take advantage of the fact that we have Reverend Skip right here. And while we're waiting for people to perhaps raise their hands, Reverend Skip, if you could go over those five things again, that would be awesome.
Sure. Absolutely. So number one is slowing down. And I always look at slowing down because of the fact that we all move so fastly. Some of us know that we're moving fast, but yoga is always an invitation. Tai Chi, energy, moving, having a massage. You got to lay there and accept it. You got to stop, be still, and know. Part of the teachings of our New Thought movement is be still and know. It didn't say get on the highway and know, although you might know on the highway, but be still and know. Be quiet and know. So we have to slow down. Number two, tap into your joy box. Tap into the joy box. And I got that. And first of all, when I got that, I laughed at God. Really, God? You want me to say tap into your joy box in Fort Lauderdale, a predominantly gay community? And everyone laughed when I said it. But then I realized what God was saying through and as me was, we put things in a box. We got to open up the box. We got to get it out. We got to tap into the joy box. And on the real, we need to be tapping into the other joy box too, a little bit. I know, I'm just saying, okay. And you're not broken. I think that is one of the mantras and one of the affirmations that I constantly have to remind myself, there's nothing wrong here. I am not broken. This is a constant practice because we have an idea of judging ourselves by the experience that we're having. And if we're having an unwanted experience, then we take on that I'm broken. So we get to remember that we're not broken. We are not broken. Acceptance is another key. That was number 4. Not just acceptance of our divinity, which that is the path that we're always on, but how about the acceptance that right where you are has come to heal you? How about the acceptance that you on the 405 in bumper to bumper traffic, you were meant to be there? How about the acceptance of you being in the grocery store and you need to get out, but you're trying to get out? How about the acceptance that you were called to be there at that moment? Even if it's just to hold consciousness, if it's just to radiate love. How about acceptance of this relationship came here to heal me? And then the last one is it's a healing practice daily, 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 daily. You can't stay clean on yesterday's shower. It just can't. You can't stay clean on yesterday's shower. It is a day to day thing. It's a breath by breath, moment by moment. So it's a daily practice of renewal, of remembering, of reconnecting, of healing. The other thing I want to add to this is he got me started again, Garrick. I can start again. Those R's are really important because when you have reconnect, remember, renew, there's also revitalize. There's also re-energize. See, you can't revitalize or re-energize if you're not willing to renew, if you're not willing to slow down. See, your healing practice will revitalize your purpose. Your purpose. Yeah.
I love how all of these work together. I had a recent experience where I last Sunday went to a sound bath. I was all excited about this sound bath because I love sound baths. It's like my favorite body work. But what I didn't realize until I got to the class was this particular sound bath was beginning with yoga. And very, very long time. And so the facilitator of the sound bath apologized that he wasn't clear in expressing that it was yoga, but I got to accept it. I got to choose that I was in the right place, and there's a reason why I ended up in a yoga class when I went for a sound bath. And just staying for that class gave me a deeper commitment to my body. And now I'm joining a gym because I got what I needed by accepting that I was in the right place. So there really is something with all of these points that you make, Reverend Skip. I love the way they work together. Last chance for questions. And Reverend Skip, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm just going to say that acceptance. Recently, I went through a dark night of the soul. I came back here to Florida and I realized, okay, let's accept. I'm here. Let's not only accept, embrace it, fall in love with it, be willing to fall in love. And it's one of the things that you're saying, okay, I'm making a difference. I'm making a purpose here. I'm changing lives. And then yesterday I get this email. I didn't even share this with you, Bill. I got this email from the Alliance for Global New Thought that's going to be here in Fort Lauderdale, and they just asked me to speak. And that has been one of the things I always wanted. I've spoken at national conventions and international conventions before, but the Alliance of Global New Thought's focus is to understand there's not a unity, there's not an agape, there's not a Center for Spiritual Living, religious science, Christian. We're all new thought. So the Alliance for Global New Thought is a movement of bringing this all together. So I've been very active in seeing this as someone's from Agape who had to affiliate with CSL, who we have some unity people here. I'm going, it's all God. What are y'all talking about? This and this and this. So I'm going to be even more involved with the Alliance of Global New Thought because it is all one. Yes. Hey, Reverend Thomas, how are you? Hey, Thomas.
Reverend Tom, go ahead and unmute.
Okay. I love how you're just saying, well, of course, it's all God and that we are God, but sometimes we got to make that remembrance that we are God and it's all God. Sometimes, it's just when we get busy and we get doing our things, and when things seem to happen to us because but they're happening for our highest good, we got to remember it's all good, it's all God, and good and God are synonyms.
Yes, it is
synonymous.
Synonymous. So, yes.
That's I love how you're saying that.
Thank you, Reverend Tom. I appreciate that. And again, this is why it's a daily practice, Because the more we remember, the more we say it, it becomes a belief. You know what a belief is? The statements of truth we keep telling ourselves over and over again. It becomes a statement, and then it becomes truth, and then we become it, and then we experience it. So this is why I have to get up every morning going, oh yeah, I am loved, therefore I can love in any situation. That means on the highway, that means with my staff, that means in the grocery store, that means with the people I like, the people I don't like. I am love. I can love in any situation. And that has been a daily practice of mine every single day. So thank you, Reverend Tom.
Thank you, Reverend Skip. What great, 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 great daily practices, guys.
Yeah.
Remember this as we walk through the earth. Remember who we are. Reconnect. Just love is the answer. Love is
And I just got to say one more thing. Tamara's picture is so dope. Every time I look over there, I'm going, oh God, she looks so beautiful. Her picture,
Thank you.
I'm like, that picture is so beautiful. I'm going, God is so gorgeous.
I'm not even going to turn my camera on now because that's like the wish version. I'm like the wish version of my picture right now. So
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Inspire. Thank you so much for letting me come and play with y'all. It was absolutely wonderful.
My goodness, Reverend Skip. So I'm going to go ahead and this is our sharing time. And then after our sharing time, I'm going to ask you to give us our benediction and closing prayer.
Sure.
But this is the time where we get to share. We get to share. And there are some particular ways that you get to share. First and foremost is by donating money to Inspire. If Inspire lifts you up, if it's important to you, if you want this message across the globe, whatever level gives you the opportunity to feel like you're participating, I invite you to donate. You can go to inspirespiritualcommunity.org/donate, or you can go back to the email that you received with the link to today's service, click donate, whatever amount. It all helps. It all helps. And just remember that when you are giving, you are sharing your love energy, and that love energy comes back multiplied towards you. There's another way that you can also share, and that is your skills, your talents. People who have skills editing, people who have skills copywriting, people who have skills singing, people who have skills, whatever type of skills. Again, you can go back to that email that you received and just click reply and just go, hey, you know what? I'm a singer, I'm a poet, I would like to share my talents with Inspire. Let us know, because we are a growing community here with a mission of giving this message across the globe. So tell a friend, again, when you receive that email, if there's a friend that might benefit from it, go ahead and forward that email to your friend so that we can share the message. And you don't have to be the one preaching in anybody's face. You can just say, hey, here's a video for you to watch. And let someone like Reverend Skip give the message. So I thank you for your donations. Again, those of you who auto tithe, who automatically every month give without thinking about it, thank you. Those of you who go to our website and click the donation button, thank you. Those of you who show up in service, thank you. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Let's go back to Reverend Skip for our benediction and prayer.
So if we could just take a moment just to recognize if there's something that you're experiencing, maybe some form of a trauma or some form of a healing that's calling forth, whatever it is, bring it to your heart. And I want you to speak to that invitation. I want you to speak to it. I want you to hold it, embrace it, because it is here for your highest good, as Reverend Tom said. It is all working for your highest good. And what I mean by that, it is all working for you to wake up to your divinity. So as we go within, we take a moment just to slow down and just to breathe. And we get to speak a word of gratitude. I'm grateful for this beautiful community of Inspire that continues to grow and to thrive, because that is how spirit work. We live in an expansive universe. The universe is always revealing more of itself to experience more of itself. Knowing that here there's only one power, one presence, one mind, that is God, that is love, that is spirit. Knowing that our life is the life of God, the life of spirit, there's no place that love is not. It is right where I am, it's right where we are in Africa and Fort Lauderdale and LA, all over the world. There is no spot that love is not. So I give thanks. I give thanks for this gathering. I give thanks for this community. I give thanks for the insights that have been downloaded. I'm grateful for this time of transformation that is happening. I give thanks for all the things that are yet to be seen, but it's already happening in the mind of God. And as we surrender and as we slow down and we choose to renew, to remember, and to reconnect, that our life is already dynamically changed because of our yes. It is a practice that transforms us. It is our willingness that brings us into this new space, and it's always new in spirit. Therefore, we are having a new thought. Therefore, we are having a new feeling. Therefore, we're having a new insight of these ageless wisdom principles. They are alive and awake. And so for that, I give thanks for this day. I simply allow all this to be in spirit. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Skip. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Garrick. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Amina. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, everyone. So good to see all of y'all. I'm a yes. So Garrick, you let me know. I'm always a sacred yes. Let me know when we want me to drop in.
Don't worry. One, we will be calling you back. But number two, in the chat, Reverend Skip has put his contact information, skipjennings.com. Pretty simple.
Yeah,
So,
pretty simple.
Yeah, I like to every once in a while just highlight and then open a blank Word page and just, be right from the chat into a place where you can save it. So that's how you can see more of Reverend Skip. But not to worry, we're going to invite him back more. So
yes.
Now let's just take this message. Let's go with it. Let's run with it. Let's be it. Let's live it. Renew, remember, reconnect, and keep on being a blessing. Have an absolutely gorgeous week.
Thank you, everybody. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.